Amara, you are forsaking your place among the spirit. Love has bound you to the warrior, and the balance of life and death trembles because of it. The land demands a sacrifice.
Amara was born as the fifth daughter of a humble herbalist. Her family lived in a small village called Umuru. Where people believed in spirits and ancestors who watch over them. The village elders thought that the land had a heartbeat, a special rhythm only certain people could feel. Amara was one of those people. She had a natural connection to the spirits, and as she grew, she found herself drawn to nature, understanding the silent messages in leaves, streams, and stones. As a child, Amara loved to sit by her grandmother's side, watching her sort through the dried roots and herbs to heal people. But one hot afternoon, as her grandmother took her last breath, Amara heard the whispers of spirits for the first time. Her grandmother's spirit appeared gently, placing a hand on Amara's head and saying, "Amara, your gift is more than healing. It's a call of the land, and you must honor it, even if it leads you to places where it will scare you." The years that followed made Amara into a healer for the village and others beyond. She traveled from settlement to settlement, each journey revealing the new depths of her power and an ever-deepening sense of loneliness. The villagers revered her and respected her so much, but her connection with the spirit world kept her distant and almost untouchable. To the east, across the valley and the great Umbosi River, lay the Kingdom of Mardu, a realm of strong warriors and proud hunters. Here, Obasi was born into a family of warriors bound by tradition, the son of the royal guard captain. He was trained to wield his spear from a young age, as his eyes held the intensity of one who saw his purpose clearly. However, unlike his kins, Obasi was drawn to stories, to the quiet moments beneath the night sky, and to the mysteries whispered about those who could speak with the unseen. Obasi's destiny was marked by a prophecy from the kingdom's oracle, which said that one day Obasi would meet a woman whose heart is not of this world. She will become his greatest love, and should he choose her, it will be his deepest loss. These words haunted Obasi, but he was bound by duty and buried by his curiosity, and fear was deep within himself. As the years passed, Obasi became a formidable warrior, admired by his people and trusted by the kingdom leaders. Yet, there was an emptiness within him that no victory could fill. He felt the weight of this prophecy in his bones, and each time he looked to the horizon, he wondered if she, the woman of his fate, was somewhere just beyond his sight. One year, during the season of the burning sand, a mysterious illness struck Mardu. First, it took the young and then the old, and then it came after Obasi's mother. Obasi's mother was once a robust woman filled with laughter, but she grew weak. Her breath was shallow and her skin very pale. Desperate to save his mother, Obasi sought out healers from nearby villages, and no one could break the illness. As a last hope, the kingdom's elders spoke of a healer across the Ebony Hill, one who spoke with spirits and one who could mend even a soul's wound. Obasi hesitated at first, for the prophecy lingered in his mind, warning him of the love that would be both a gift and a curse. But the sight of his mother's suffering broke his resolve. With his spare, provision, and a heavy heart with duty and dread, he set off over the hills, through the valleys he had never traveled. Amara was in her small garden, sorting herbs under the morning sun, When she first sensed Obasi's approach, his presence was unlike any she had felt in her life. It was a mixture of strength and sorrow that resonated like a drumbeat in her chest. When he arrived, she met his gaze. Struck by the resolve and vulnerability in his eyes, without a word, she nodded as though she had been expecting him.
Are you Amara, the healer of the spirits?
Asked Obasi, his voice steady but lined with weariness.
Yes, I am,
she replied.
You have come a long way. Tell me of your need.
Obasi shared his story, detailing his mother's sickness, the agony of watching her fade, and the failure of all other healers to cure her. Amara listened, her heart moved by his devotion, though she kept her expression calm. I will come with you, she said, but the journey back will not be easy. I must prepare. Together, they set off the following day. Their journey across the hill was silent at first, as each kept to their thoughts. Yet, as days turned into nights, and as they navigated the thorny paths and forded wild rivers, a quiet understanding began to grow between them. Amara watched Obasi, noticing how he respected the land and its rhythm, how he will halt to let a stream flow or a bird pass. She said that he, like her, was aware of something beyond the ordinary. One evening, as they camped beneath the wide canopy of stars, Obasi spoke about his life, the battles he had fought, the prophecy he could not escape, and then said,
I have never feared my destiny, he admitted. But meeting you make me question it. They say my fate is to love one whose heart is not of this world. Yet, I find myself drawn to you, not because of the prophecy, but because I feel that you are part of me now. You are part of my story.
Amara looked at him, her face illuminated by the firelight, her eyes soft but very distant. And then she said,
I am bound to the spirits, to forces that are neither kind nor cruel but ancient. They give and they take, they heal and they destroy. My path had been one of sacrifice, and I fear that any love would be as fleeting as a river song.
Yet, Obasi's steady presence and his loyalty to his family touched her in a way she had not expected. Night after night, as they continued on their journey, Amara began to feel that Obasi's prophecy was not a curse but an invitation to love. By the time they reached Obasi village, an unspoken bond had grown between them. It was a subtle connection built on shared silence, a brush of the hands as they passed each other's supply, or a shared smile at the sight of a wild animal antics. Their love was tender and uncertain. When Amara saw Obasi's sick mother, she was sad, and then she moved close to her bed and held her hand. Then she started the healing process and poured her heart and spirit into the healing, battling forces unseen and unknown, spending every ounce of her strength to save Obasi's mother. She tried for days, and on the 7th day, she succeeded. The villagers rejoiced, showering Amara with gratitude and blessing, and also thanking Obasi for his bravery in bringing Amara to them. But as they celebrated, whispers spread round the village that Amara's power were not without consequences. Rumors swirled round the village that her healing came from the spirit world and that her presence could upset the balance of life and death. The village elder, wary and wise, approached and warned him quietly. The healer has given us a gift, but such gifts are never free. Obasi, watch closely, for love between a warrior and a spirit child does not come without payment. The gods will demand payment. Obasi dismissed the warning at first, laughing them off, then said, Love has no depth to the spirit, he argued, confident in the strength he felt growing between himself and Amara. Yet, in the quiet hours, he found himself wondering if the elder's word had held truth. Obasi's heart raced as the thought of losing Amara frightened him, but his feelings were mixed with an unshakable fear of the unknown force that clung to her presence. Amara too was troubled. She had always known her gift came with responsibilities, but she had not expected her heart to be drawn so fiercely to Obasi. Each time he looked at her, she felt a flicker of hope, a possibility that love could free her from the spirit grasp. And so, they held their feeling close, neither willing to speak of the emotion burning between them, afraid that the mere utterance of love would invite the spirit to intervene. As days passed, Amara remained in Obasi's village, healing the sick, comforting the old, and easing the pain of the young. She and Obasi spent more and more time together, each moment building anticipation and tension. Their walks under the starlight skies grew longer, the silence between them filled with shared glance and unspoken promise. One evening, as they stood on a hill overlooking the village, Obasi took her hand, his face more serious than ever. Then he said,
I feel my soul bound to you, Amara. But the prophecy of my youth linger like a shadow in my heart. They say our love could bring disaster.
Amara's heart thudded painfully.
Obasi, the spirit have given me this gift, and it may be all I have to offer. If our love is meant to be my undoing, then let it be.
Her voice trembling as she tried to mask the fear that had surged through her.
But I cannot promise you your safety if you choose to love me.
Obasi, resolute, held her close, the warmth of his embrace, a silent defiance against fate. For a while, they stood there, two souls, moved by love, facing the world as one. The villagers noticed their bond and talked of the curses and blessing that they will both encounter if they choose to continue with this love. But both went ahead. As Obasi and Amara were enjoying the evening, a storm swept through the village, powerful and relentless. Thunder crashed and lightning split the skies, and from the depth of the storm came the spirits of the Ebony Hill in the form of a great shimmering eagle. Its eyes held the wisdom of centuries, and his voice was low rumble that filled it.
Amara! You are forsaking your place among the spirit. Love has bound you to the warrior, and the balance of life and death trembles because of it. The land demands a sacrifice.
Obasi stepped forward, his voice unyielding.
If you demand a price, then take me. Take my life instead of hers.
The spirit's gaze softened, almost mournful.
It is not so simple. It is not so simple.
The love you share defies the natural order. Yet, I am not one without compassion. So, you may choose. One of you shall return to the spirit realm, and the other will remain here. Their heart burdened with longing for eternity. The weight of the choice hung in the air like a boulder on the edge of a cliff, and Amara felt her heart crack. She turned to Obasi, her voice choked.
If you must go, then I will wait for you, even if it takes 1,000 lifetimes. But don't you think I should go? Let me go. It is my fault. Obasi, let me go.
But Obasi held her face in his hand, his face fierce and tender.
No, Amara. No, Amara. I will not let you bear the weight of this loss alone. I will rather become dust and stars than leave you to mourn for me. Let me go instead.
In a heart-wrenching moment, they made their decision. With tears in their eyes, Amara called upon the ancestor to take her spirit, to let Obasi remain in the land of the living. But the spirit of the Ebony Hill, moved by their selflessness, took pity on both of them and intervened. And then it said,
True love has softened even my own heart. Who am I to refuse? But tonight, I grant you a reprieve. But know this, your love has defied the order, and the time will come when this debt must be paid.
With that, the storm passed and the spirit disappeared, leaving Amara and Obasi alone once more again. They knew that their love was not safe, that one day they would pay the price for choosing to stay together. But for now, They held each other, hearts racing, their love burning brighter than ever, and hoping that they will remain in love forever and ever.